Hello, everybody. Welcome to Connections Realty Group and Friends. I have my friend hanging out with me today, Mr. Derek Griffin of the Derek Todd Agency. Welcome, Derek.
Hello, hello, hello.
You know what we've been doing, y'all? We've been putting some good information out there, and I want to tell you, this man has been doing this for over 25 years. Y'all definitely, if you want to make sure your stuff is right, that you're um empowered with knowledge, because he will give you the knowledge. This is the guy that you want to sit with. So I have him here today because I wanted us to talk about wills and trust. I know y'all been watching the reels and everybody running around talking about, yeah, because you got to put it into trust and you got, yeah, but how many of y'all did it? And you can't just look at a reel
Right,
and think you know exactly how it works,
right,
right?
right,
Because a will and a trust is an individual thing, right? Depending on what you have going on.
right.
And some of y'all don't even have something to put in a will or a trust yet. But Derek is going to help you with that too. That's the part.
Right.
So let's talk about wills and trust.
Okay.
Derek, let's talk about wills first.
Okay.
What are wills for and how do they work?
Okay. Wills are primarily for individuals who want to make sure that whatever assets, belongings, uh, investments, whatever they've accrued in their lifetime, that they've worked on hard, leave a legacy. They can, in a will, it allows them to determine who gets what. Right?
Okay.
Who bequeath? I bequeath to Stephanie my Rolls Royce, and I bequeath to cousin June the house on on the hill, that kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
But those wills are really just a will and testament of an individual who has the right to determine who gets what.
Okay. Okay. And those are pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
And then when you're in that process, the person who's usually writing a will kind of go over what goes in there, right? Like to kind of jog your memory, because I think sometimes people don't think about what can actually go. What's the worst thing you've seen somebody put in a will?
I've seen situations where they willed animals and not the children. I mean, you literally can will your assets to animals or to other institutions. It doesn't have to necessarily go to a family.
Oh, okay.
You can will all of your assets and belongings to go to a church, or even someone that's not even a blood relative. I've seen situations where persons had willed their mistress everything, and the family got nothing.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm not in that family, because that would not be good. But I just seen the very rich guy. I can't think of his name right now, but he willed his stuff to the gardener.
Yeah,
And you know that's gonna be some contestant, but that's a whole nother story.
yeah.
But that's some good stuff. So now what's the difference between, so let's talk about the trust.
Mhm.
What actually is a trust?
There's a variety of trust. Well, to be honest with you, there's revocable trust, irrevocable trust, but I liken it to a vault. I like to keep it simple for people, right? It's a vault that protects assets and it gets those assets, watch this, out of your personal name. A will is done in your name. Derek Griffin bequeaths this to,
Okay.
right? A trust actually is in a trustee's name, not your name. And the trusts are designed to protect your assets from lawsuits, bankruptcies, and contesting. The
Okay.
will can be contested.
Got it. Okay.
And I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen where a will, in a will, the assets were, given to a child. The spouse or the mother decided to contest it and give it to another child,
Wow. Okay.
as
I
opposed to the
see.
one that the parent who died wanted. They can go in the court. They go to court and get it contested. They can get it contested and they'll change it, and it got changed. If it's in a trust, forget about it. It's done. It's locked in. No changing. So I'll give you an example. I always talk about O.J. Simpson,
Yes. Okay.
and a very big case. Most people know it, even the younger generation. If they haven't, this movie was out, they know about the O.J. Situation, O.J. Simpson, and we know that he won the criminal case, right?
Right.
It says if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. The glove,
Right.
Johnny Cochran, right?
Right.
But then there was another lawsuit, a civil suit against him for wrongful death of Ron Goldman, who was a young man that was murdered, and OJ lost that case. He lost it, and as a matter of fact, I think the lawsuit, give or take, about 25-30 million dollars, and the court awarded that to Ron Goldman's dad. But guess how much his dad got of that money? Zero. He didn't get paid. And reason being, OJ had all of his assets, his trophies, his boats, his cars, his homes, his investments, all of his money, all of his weapons, everything in that trust. It wasn't in his
Wow.
name. So as you can see, there's a big difference between trust and will
Absolutely.
protection.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go for a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to talk about, because you talked about the trustee. I want to talk about who the trustee is,
Mhm,
because we need to trust the trustee.
mhm.
But we're going to go for a quick commercial break and we'll be right back in just a moment.
If you're looking for a realtor who's patient, caring, knowledgeable, who's an expert negotiator, and doesn't quit until the job is done, then you're looking for my favorite realtor, Stephanie Thomas, whose motto is, it's not about being ready, it's about getting ready.
And we're back. Again, I'm here with my friend, Derek Griffin of the Derek Todd Agency. And when we left off, Derek, we talked about the wills and the trust. And then I want to talk about the trustee.
Gotcha.
Who usually is the trustee? Because we need to trust the trustee. Who is that?
Okay. Let's look at it this way. We call it estate planning. I have an attorney that actually works for my agency. I'm not an attorney. I just know enough to be dangerous, but I have a partner that works with me and he helps my clients with their planning. And so in estate planning, he goes through all of these type of questions you're asking with the client and to explain to them, how it works. So believe it or not, folks don't know this. You can select an individual that you trust. Literally, it could be a child, another relative that will do right by your family. But there are also companies that do it for people. You literally can hire a company to do it, and that's what they do. That those companies are known to be trustees for very wealthy people. Or you can have your attorney. Your attorney
Right.
legally can be a trustee for you. So you have options,
So you
and
assign who that.
you
Okay. So
assign who
okay.
but you as the person who creates the trust have an option of choosing just about anybody, but you have to be wise in terms of who you select so that it's handled properly.
Absolutely. And would you suggest when I'm thinking about that, I'm like, well, I wouldn't want to not so much even trust a family member, but even put them in that situation where now they have to fight other people
Right.
just to do what I said to do.
Right. Yeah.
So
You can pick
yeah,
a best friend,
no,
you know. Like I said, you could pick a neutral party,
you're right.
you
That's what I
know.
would think.
Yeah, and they'll be legally bound to execute it accordingly. And you'll find most people, use a neutral party,
Right.
you
I
know.
think that's best
Yeah.
because I don't have time for where she live at, try to ride past her house,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that would be best. But again, y'all make your own decision. Y'all, we're talking about wills and trusts with Derek Griffin of the Derek Todd Agency. Derek, thank you so much for this information. Y'all, we have to do better, but when we know better, we do better. Again, this guy is a wealth of information. So I want you to email us to schedule an appointment. Like these are so easy and it's free.
Yes.
You doing it for free?
Everything I do, analysis is free. We don't take any money from our clients. The time money is acquired, it's to pay the insurance company for your policies. That's it.
Absolutely. Okay, y'all, listen.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose, right?
Yeah.
So let's get rid of the fear and let's start building our legacy. So
Yeah.
make sure that you send us an email at
Oh, Derek Todd Agency at gmail.com.
yep, schedule your appointment today. We got. All right, going back to lunch or go back to sleep, and we'll see you on the next one. See y'all later.
Bye bye.